So good morning friends, welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS. So guys, here we are about to start the session. Mohit, Pooja, Mahi, Vaibhav, Nandini, Yaman, Vaheguru, good morning. So here we are about to start the session. The PDF for today's session has already been uploaded. Let's look into the analysis today. So as you can see on the screen, so we'll start with first the statement made by Nelson Mandela. So he said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. That education can change the world. Okay, this is what this is the message that he has sent. Now, how education can change the world? That's the important point here. So, if you look into the vulnerable sections that are there, okay, जो हमारे vulnerable sections हैं, if you provide education to them, it will empower them. It will empower them. They can take care of themselves. Okay, and not only themselves but also their family members. So this is a big change that you can bring by educating the masses. And specifically, it is said that if you educate a woman, educating a woman is equivalent to educating a family. Okay, educating a woman is equivalent to educating a family, because these learnings, the knowledge that she will have, those learnings, knowledge, they will be passed on to the next generation as well. It will not be just confining to one generation. So the knowledge that she is going to have, that will be passed on to the next generation. This is the importance of, you can say, educating women in this country. This is the importance of educating women in this country. Now we want to fight against different evils that are there. Okay, so आप social evils के साथ fight करना चाहते हो. So again the solution comes with the education. So you want to fight against caste system, communalism, okay, superstition. The answer is education, because education will help in the development of scientific temper. And we know that scientific temper is important, and it is as important as it is mentioned in your fundamental duties. This is how education can change the world. Other than that, what can education bring to an individual? Okay. Now with education you will get wisdom. Wisdom will help the person is taking informed choices in the life. Okay, informed choices in the life, and that person will be better equipped. That person will be better equipped to basically handle the situation and the challenges that are going to be there. That person will be better equipped to handle the challenges that are going to be there in the life. So that's why it is important. That's why it is important. Okay, that was the point here. So we'll move to the next point, next part of the newspaper. Gulam Nabi Azad walks out of the Congress blaming Rahul Gandhi. So here he moves out and he said that intra-party democracy is not there. Intra-party democracy, it is not there. That's the point here. Okay, now whenever we talk about electoral reforms, जब भी हम electoral reforms की बात करते हैं, in that one of the point is this: in India we don't have intra-party democracy. Okay, whereas if you remember in United States, there is an election process, informal election process, okay, for the selection of the presidential candidate as well. तो उनके वहां पे तो प्राइमरीज वगैरह होती हैं थ्रू विच लाइक इनफॉर्मल इलेक्शन प्रोसेस होता है एंड फॉर द सिलेक्शन ऑफ कैंडिडेट. So this arrangement is there in, you can say, in US, but in India this type of system is not functional. And apart from that, whenever we talk about, you can say, politics in this country, we complain about one major point, and that is here we have dynasties. Okay, dynasties that are there in the politics. Now, as these dynasties are there in the politics, they don't allow grassroots level worker to move forward. ग्रासरूट लेवल वर्कर को कभी ये भी अलाउ नहीं होगा कि वो ऊपर आ सके. दैट्स द पॉइंट हियर. ओके, दैट्स द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट हियर. सो दिस इज अ मेजर थिंग. दिस इज अ मेजर थिंग. Now we'll move to the next part. आगे देखते हैं. So 3 judge bench to review the Supreme Court verdict on poll promises. Okay, so this is what the things are going to be right now. So I already mentioned it yesterday that in the Subramaniam Balaji judgment, okay, Subramaniam Balaji judgment, court had said that, Supreme Court, that freebies, distribution of freebies, okay, it does not constitute a corrupt practice. It does not constitute a corrupt practice. So the law that is being, you can say, implemented here is the Representation of People's Act. ठीक है जी, Representation of People Act. So they are saying that if someone is distributing the freebies, then it will not be considered as a corrupt activity. But here, now the point is this is the older judgment that Supreme Court has come out with. So if Supreme Court continues with the older judgment, okay, if Supreme Court continues with the older judgment, then the present debate is meaningless. Okay, if Supreme Court is still functioning with the working with the older judgment, that considering that distribution of freebies is not a corrupt practice, then why are we debating it? अगर ये करप्ट प्रैक्टिस नहीं है, अगर इससे कोई हार्म नहीं होता है, तो हम इसको डिबेट क्यों कर रहे हैं आज की डेट में? That's the major point here. Okay, that's the major point here, and that's why Supreme Court has formed a 3-judge bench. Okay, so the earlier judgment was of 2-judge bench. पिछला judgment जो था वो 2-judge bench ने दिया था, and now 3-judge bench has been formed so that to review it, to replace it, to revisit it. So you need a larger bench. So this is how the things are going to progress right now. So again, they will inquire into it. The whole thing will be discussed again, and we'll get the crux of it, whether the freebies are right or wrong. So already the Supreme Court has come out with an idea that let's form a committee. That committee will inquire into positive and negative freebies. Okay, so definitely the positive freebies which have positive impact on the social welfare, we can continue with those things. जहाँ पे social welfare होता वो नजर आ रहा हो उसको आप continue कीजिए, and the negative ones can be removed. That's the basic idea. Okay, and it should be done like this as well. We cannot have a straightforward one size fit all approach for these freebies, because some of them are really important. Okay, so take example MG Narega, then you have government distributing the bicycles to the girl students so that they can reach out to the, you can longer distance schools and all. So it has positive impact. Okay, so this is how the whole debate is going on. So we'll move to the next part. आगे चलते हैं, यहाँ पे देखते हैं और क्या है. So there is nothing much on this particular thing. Now Operation Lotus failed in Delhi. This is what Kejriwal is saying. Okay, so Operation Lotus means that BJP is trying to, you can say, divide the parties. Okay, divide the opposition parties. Not division is not the right word, rather break the, you can say, opposition parties. Okay, this is what Kejriwal is claiming. So he is claiming that BJP tried to break Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi. They tried to give 20 crore rupees each to the MLA who are moving out of Aam Aadmi Party. ऐसा कुछ जो है इन्होंने बताया है. Okay, now the thing is this, it is a sad thing because opposition is never going to trust the party in power. if the opposition is working by this, opposition is never going to trust the party in power. तो जो पार्टी इन पावर है उसको कभी भी opposition ट्रस्ट नहीं करेगा. Okay, this will be the outcome. This will be the outcome, and it will be a sad state. It will be a sad state. Okay, this is the whole point that we have to understand. Other than that, there is nothing much. कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. आगे चलते हैं. So here we'll directly move to the editorial section. Editorial section पे चलते हैं. क्या है यहाँ पे देखेंगे क्या बोलता है आपका editorial. Okay, so here we have this thing, a draconian law that needs to disappear. Okay, so here they are debating about Armed Force Special Power Act, that what need to be the future of this. Okay, should we lift it? Now this Armed Force Special Power Act was brought in 1958 in Nagaland. Later on today, in different parts of the country, this act has been implemented. Under this act, the armed forces, okay, they get some special powers. Those special powers are given to them to operate in an environment which is different from normal. So these extra powers were required because environment of these particular states is completely different, and your armed forces, they need some special protection and extra powers. This is what has been facilitated by Armed Force Special Power Act. Now it is being said that this AFSPA is, you can say, this AFSPA, it damages, okay, it damages the democratic credentials of the country. Because people, they feel that their rights are being curtailed. लोगों के rights कहीं ना कहीं यहाँ पे curtail हो जाते हैं. And that's why multiple times it has been debated that what should be done with this particular act. Okay, what should be done with this particular act? That's the important point. So एक साहिल कुमार करके आए हैं, वो कह रहे हैं सर बी रेगुलर. साहिल कुमार, where are you from? ओके, आप कहाँ से आ गए हो? यू आर नॉट अटेंडिंग द सेशन एवरी डे. ठीक है ना? डोंट क्रिएट अननेसेसरी प्रॉब्लम्स हियर. चलिए, सो लेट्स स्टिक टू दिस. AFSPA, it says that future means what is going to be the future. That's the major angle here. Now it damages the democratic credentials. ये डेमोक्रेटिक क्रेडेंशियल्स जो हैं ये यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं डैमेज हो रहे हैं बिकॉज पीपल दे आर नॉट एंजॉइंग द डेमोक्रेसी टू द फुल एक्सटेंट. ओके, दैट्स द प्रॉब्लम. एंड मल्टीपल टाइम्स वी हैव सीन अर्लियर दिस लॉ हैज बीन मिसयूज्ड एज वेल. Those powers, uncontrolled, unbridled powers that are given to the, you can say, that are given to the armed forces, they are being misused. They are being misused. That's the major point here. Okay, that's the major point here. So we'll take up this thing. Now the Northeast needs to be freed from the net of AFSPA. That's the whole debate is about, because it subsumes the constitutional rights. Now the point is this: we have fundamental rights, but here it appears that this AFSPA may, you can say, curtail those fundamental rights. And the point is this: see, we are living in a democratic state. Okay, we are not living in a police state where you have to control everything. हम police state में नहीं रह रहे हैं कि जहाँ पे आप हर चीजों को control करेंगे. Okay, that's the important point here. And all the citizen of this country, they should enjoy these rights. Okay, they should enjoy these rights. That's the important message that we have here. Now the statement made by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he said that they are going to review the implementation of AFSPA in different parts. Okay, in different parts wherever it has been implemented, in Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, in March. That's the point here. Okay, Prime Minister was addressing a peace, unity and development rally in Assam, and there he pointed out about these things. And it's a rational thing. It's a rational thing that we have to review its implementation, that whether it should be continued or not, we need to review its implementation. That's the important point here. Okay, so this is one point that you have to understand. Now I have seen a debate on Rajya Sabha TV. Okay, earlier there used to be a Rajya Sabha TV, and I have seen a debate. Okay, in this Rajya Sabha TV, former Vice Chief of the Army Staff Raj Kadyan, he mentioned about this thing, mentioned about the AFSPA. He said that the problem with Armed Force Special Power Act is if you are lifting this particular act, okay, if you lifted this particular act and then if it is required to be reimposed, एक बार आपने हटा दिया और उसके बाद दोबारा लगाने की जरूरत पड़ गई, then this is going to be difficult. Okay, then this is going to be difficult. So he is of this opinion that let's continue with this act itself, कि भैया हम इस एक्ट को कंटिन्यू करके रखते हैं. ओके, let's continue with this act itself and we don't alter this arrangement. This is what he said, and it appears to be quite rational. So Armed Force Special Power Act, when it is being implemented, your army is not in support of lifting this. Okay, this decision have to be taken by the civilian government. तो आपकी गवर्नमेंट को ये डिसाइड करना है कि इसका क्या फ्यूचर होने वाला है. ठीक है ना? That's the point here. Now the existence of this law, it has a British, you can say, origin. It has a British origin. Okay, it can be traced to the Armed Force Special Power Ordinance 1942, which was enacted by British to subjugate the rebels in the country during Quit India movement, particularly in Assam and Bengal in October 1942. Okay, so the point was that the base of this particular act was designed in such a way to suppress Indians. तो Indians को दबाने के लिए जो है इस लॉ को बनाया गया था. It means that there has been a colonial factor in this. Okay, and it is becoming more important that we review this now. तो जिसका origin colonial है, it means it is not a pro people legislation. Okay, अब ये pro people legislation तो certainly नहीं है. ठीक है जी. So you have to review these things here. आपको वाकई इसे जो है वो रिव्यू, इसको अच्छे से रिव्यू करना पड़ेगा. That's the point here. Now, like, there are things that have progressed over the time. So in like Shillong Peace Accord was signed in 1975 with Naga insurgents. Okay, there were majorly two groups, ISAC and the Movia group, and later on, like, things changed, and in 2015 we signed an agreement, that's the Naga framework agreement. Okay, and somehow at present we are moving in a peaceful direction. कहीं ना कहीं हम peaceful direction के अंदर जा रहे हैं, but like, events have gone down, terrorist acts have gone down, but still you will find triggers after some days. Okay, कुछ ना कुछ वहां पे ट्रिगर होता रहता है हर थोड़े थोड़े दिन के बाद. Those triggers are happening here. So it means that situation is not that smooth that you eliminate this particular act, कि आप इस act को remove कर दें completely. And this agreement, it is still hanging fire as there is no clarity, as the NSC and IM is demanding separate constitution for Nagaland along with separate flag, which might not be delivered by the government. Okay, वो हमारे लिए पॉसिबल नहीं होगा. सो वट एवर वी हैव सेड दैट द सॉल्यूशंस हैव टू बी फाउंड अंडर द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. ओके, अंडर द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन you have to find the solution. That's the take that Indian government is coming up with, that whatever solution is to be there to end this insurgency, it should be within the Indian constitution, not beyond that. That's the major point here. Okay, there is no question of allowing Nagaland to have separate constitution or separate flag, because we are not United States. Okay, we are not United States. The federalism in this country is different. हमारे यहाँ पे federalism जो है वो different type का है. So we have a different arrangement and you cannot allow these things in India. That's the point here. Other point is this, that over the time local people, they have complained about the AFSPA, that security forces, they are doing high-handed things. They are having, you can say, unbridled power, and they can kill and shoot anyone. They can search anyone without warrant. There will be no prosecution against them, against any wrongdoing under this Armed Force Special Power Act. This arrangement has been there. Okay, now it has been derivated by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court guidelines are also existing. देखिए कोई भी चीज आइसोलेट एब्सोल्यूट नहीं है, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट गाइडलाइंस आर एग्जिस्टिंग रिगार्डिंग द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर एक्ट. ओके, and the unbridled protection is no more there. There are standard operating procedures that they have to carry out, and if they are not following standard operating procedure, then definitely in multiple cases disciplinary actions have also been taken. Okay, disciplinary action have also been taken, and it has been taken multiple times. So this is the major point that you have to understand. Now, other thing is this, like latestly there was this case where commandos of 21 para, they end up killing some locals by mistake. It was a case of mistaken identity. And right now, like they are waiting for the consent from central government to, you can say, to deny any further action or to take any action. This is how things are going on. The point is this, civilians, they end up paying the price. कहीं ना कहीं civilians जरूर ये पे करते हैं price. And Jeevan Reddy Commission find out that AFSPA, wherever it has been implemented, it has entered the psyche of the people. भी लोगों के दिमाग में घुस गया है ये. And that Reddy Commission also came out with the recommendation what needs to be the future of AFSPA, कि भी इसका क्या करना चाहिए. So some recommendations are given by the Reddy Commission. Okay, so you can refer to those, you can say, ideas. So it suggested that some amendments need to be made in Unlawful Activities Act, and the provisions of AFSPA can be added in Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. This is the major idea. He said that nothing will change by that, but as AFSPA has entered the psyche of the people, it should be withdrawn. Okay, it should be withdrawn. So have a other law, other arrangement to bring in, to impose the same provision. आप दूसरा कानून बना के same provisions को लागू करवा सकते हैं. This is what was told by Reddy Commission. Okay, it's a quite, you can say, workable suggestion. You can implement it. आप इसे implement कर सकते हो, काफी workable suggestion है. ठीक है जी. Now former Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram was of the firm opinion that AFSPA should be withdrawn, but Defense Ministry was against it. Okay, and I told you the reason. There is rationality in that if you lift this particular law, then re-imposition will be difficult. ओके, कहीं ना कहीं री इम्पोजिशन जो है वो डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा यहाँ पे. तो ये चीज हमें जरूर कैलकुलेट करनी है. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए दैट यू ट्राई टू इंप्रूव द सिचुएशन बट एंडेड अप इन क्रिएटिंग अ लार्जर बिगर प्रॉब्लम. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. सो दैट्स द मेजर डिबेट इज अबाउट. ओके, सो वी मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट नाउ. पुट्टास्वामी एंड द फेडिंग प्रॉमिस ऑफ द राइट. सो इट्स बीन 5 years that we have this particular judgment which talked about right to privacy as intrinsic right. Okay, intrinsic right under article 21, that is right to life. ठीक है जी. Means that it has not been explicitly mentioned as a separate provision, something called right to privacy, but it is there as part of right to life. That's the major point that is being given in the Puttaswamy judgment. Okay, it has changed lot of things. Okay, lot of things have changed after that. And it is important to the extent that are we truly having right to privacy in this country? Now, सबसे बड़ा problem क्या है? We don't have a data protection law in this country. So if you don't have data protection law in this country, we cannot claim that we are having right to privacy, because there is no checks and balances if someone is misusing the data that we are generating. Okay, तो जनता कुछ नहीं कर सकती है because there is no provision of data security in this country. So your data can be easily stolen and can be used by any commercial entity. This is how the things are. And then the point is this, like we have an arrangement and doubts have been raised over the state sponsored surveillance. Okay, so we had this Pegasus issue that was raised, under which it was said that intelligence agencies in India, they were carrying out surveillance. Now do we have any check on that? क्या हमारे पास उसको दूर करने का कोई तरीका है? तो नहीं है. Okay, so this is how, like, we cannot say that in true sense we are enjoying right to privacy. That's the major point here. So as I told you this thing, like ground reality may be different and Supreme Court need to look into this. So it's been 5 years that we have this Puttaswamy judgment under which Supreme Court declared that right to privacy, it's a your, you can say, part of right to life and is a fundamental right. Okay, that's the point. Other thing is this, now whenever we talk about fundamental rights, they are not absolute. So same is the case with the right to privacy as well, that it is not an absolute right in itself. That's the major point here. Okay, it's not an absolute right in itself, but still, if it has been declared as fundamental right, it is important that these rights are to be protected. तो अब जब डिक्लेयर कर ही दिया है तो आपको इसे प्रोटेक्शन तो देनी पड़ेगी ना. दैट्स द मेजर पॉइंट हियर. ओके, दैट्स द मेजर पॉइंट हियर. Now, ground reality is this: on ground, you may not find right to privacy being implemented because we don't have data security arrangement in this country. You cannot stop data theft if it is there. So India is a country where जहाँ धोनी का डाटा भी लीक हो जाता है. धोनी का आधार कार्ड लीक हो गया था. Okay, so we have Aadhaar, again centralized data collection system where you can say data related to all the people of this country, they are present. But the thing is this: we don't have data protection, so there is no clarity, no assurity that your data is protected and your privacy is protected. That's the point here. ठीक है जी, बिल्कुल सही है ये बात. We already know that Pegasus spyware issue, like it emerged as a major, you can say, news, where it was found that Pegasus was used to carry out surveillance against the opposition party members and journalists. Now, these are alarming revelations. These are alarming revelations that what your government is trying to do. So, the same government which is having the responsibility to protect your privacy, okay, if it decides to again violate your privacy, what can we do about it? अगर वही गवर्नमेंट जिसका काम आपकी privacy को protect करना है और वो violate करने लगती है, तो आप उसमें क्या करोगे? Do you have any way out for that? No, certainly not. That's the problem here. That's the problem here. So that's why we have to, you can say, improve the overall data security architecture in this country, and till then we cannot claim that in true sense we are having right to privacy. तो जब तक आप चीजों को improve नहीं करते तब तक आप ये claim नहीं कर सकते कि वाकई यहाँ पे right to privacy है यहाँ पे. Okay, this is the point. So here flood situation is going on, or it's a really bad situation there. Okay, see, in India, like the problem is this: I earlier told you about this thing, drought and floods, they come together. Okay, so here you may see flooding in some of the areas, specifically in Assam, in Telangana, in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, but here we have Bundelkhand region of UP and MP. It is appearing that there is a major rain deficit. Okay, तो एक ये चेहरा है कि जहाँ पे रेन डेफिसिट है आपके यहाँ पे, और एक ये चेहरा है जहाँ पे फ्लडिंग हो रही है. सो दिस इज अ पेक्यूलियर फीचर ऑफ इंडिया, दैट यू मे हैव टू डील विद टू डिफरेंट एंड ऑपोजिट टाइप ऑफ प्रॉब्लम. अलग अलग टाइप की प्रॉब्लम है और आपको इसके साथ डील करना पड़ता है. तो ये इंडिया के अंदर चैलेंज है. ओके, इट्स अ वेरी बिग चैलेंज. सो अदर देन दैट देर इज नथिंग मच, कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. ओके, एट लीस्ट वन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बेंच विल फंक्शन ऑल ईयर. This is what Justice Lalit is saying. So he may be looking forward to, you can say, to look into the constitutional matters. Okay, so ये चीज बहुत अच्छी हुई है, to look into the constitutional matters. The point is this was the original role of Supreme Court. This was the expected role of Supreme Court, that it will deal with the constitutional debates. Okay, interpretation of the constitution, and will bring clarity. But somehow Supreme Court is overburdened with the regular cases. रेगुलर केसेस इतने सारे आते हैं अपीलेट ज्यूरिसडिक्शन के. ओके, कि हाई कोर्ट से आगे अपील सुप्रीम कोर्ट के अंदर, एंड दे हैव टू लिसन टू ईच एंड एवरी मैटर. So here it's a really good thing that there will be a constitution bench which will function all year, and it will be a good thing. Okay, like it will bring more clarity, it will bring, like, laws need to be prioritized, constitutional debates need to be prioritized. Okay, so it's a positive step towards the judicial reform, and this is his idea. काफ़ी अच्छे से काम कर रहे हैं ये. So other than that there is nothing much, कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. Okay, so we'll move to the next part. Now, need system for maritime concern. Okay, so there are a lot of things that are done here. So specifically in Sri Lanka, so it is said that one of the Chinese ship is now being docked in Sri Lanka. तो एक Chinese ship आया था which we consider like it is there to, you can say that ship has the potential to, you can say, to लुक इन टू द लोकेशन ऑफ सैटेलाइट्स. ओके, सैटेलाइट्स कहाँ कहाँ पे हैं, कैसे हैं, उसको जज करने के लिए ये इसका शिप का यूज होता है. तो इंडिया सेड दैट इट इज सॉर्ट ऑफ अ स्पाई शिप. दैट्स द पॉइंट हियर. Now we need to come out with more clarity over these type of issues. Okay, so we cannot force Sri Lanka because it is the sovereignty of the Sri Lanka which is important, and we cannot, you can say, undermine that. तो हम जबरदस्ती धमका तो नहीं सकते हैं, but we need to have a working arrangement in future that if something like this is happening, so you need to reform. Okay, अगर इस टाइप की चीज दोबारा कहीं हो रही है तो आपको इन्फॉर्म करना जरूरी है. दिस अरेंजमेंट कैन बी एक्सप्लोर हियर. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट दिस इज मेंशनिंग अबाउट. Now army speeds up the procurement of light tank called Zorawar at LAC. Okay, so this is what they are trying to have now, like on those heights you need a lighter tanks. उन heights पे lighter tank ही चाहिए, and Zorawar, like it will be inducted, and it's a niche technology. It has the ability to maneuver fast. काफ़ी अच्छे से high altitude के ऊपर ये चल सकता है. Okay, this is how things are. So it's a good development. Other than that, achieving 2070 net zero target could boost India's GDP. This is what report is saying. So it's saying that it's an opportunity for us. Okay, that like Indian economy can be boosted by say 4.7% above the projected baseline if we try to focus on net zero carbon, because altogether it will open up new avenues. Okay, नए रास्ते खुलेंगे, नई चीजें आएंगी यहाँ पे, new technology will be there and new type of jobs will be there. So it is saying that it can create as many as 15 million new jobs by 2047 if we continue with our goal, if we continue with our goal to achieve net zero carbon. That's the major point here. Okay, so this is what this report is saying. Now it is saying that it is going to have positive impact, and like it will improve the trade balance amounting to 236 billion, because your fossil fuel demand will go down. आपका fossil fuel consumption जो है वो कम हो जाएगा, and it will reduce your import budget. Okay, आपका import budget भी काफी कम हो जाएगा. This is the basic idea that it is exploring, that it's a really good thing and additional jobs will be added. So say by 2050 India may add up like additional jobs. काफ़ी अच्छा है यहाँ पे, ठीक है ना, अच्छे प्रोस्पेक्ट्स हैं यहाँ पे. ओके, दैट्स द मेजर पॉइंट. सो विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट, आगे चलते हैं. सो अदर देन दैट देयर इज नथिंग मच. So here we have next news. Now center picks 75 tribal districts for TB intervention program. Okay, so here they are carrying out door-to-door campaign, and this campaign has been there to detect the cases across 174 tribal districts in Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Assam, Gujarat, Telangana. Okay, so this is what the idea is, and the name of the campaign is Ashwasan Campaign. Okay, Ashwasan Campaign. It is basically the campaign carried out to identify the TB cases in tribals. Okay, so tribals के अंदर TB cases कितने हैं, कैसे हैं, you have to track them, and then government intervention can be there to find the solution. Okay, so this is prelims related content. ये prelims related है, you can note it down. So this is what the idea is about, and government has this program to make India TB free by 2025, and they are moving in that direction. So the basic idea is this: you have to engage locals. So here they are engaging community influencers like tribal leaders, tribal healers, Panchayati Raj institution members, self-help groups, youth. Okay, so this is what they are catering now. So without the public sector part, why without the public participation, we cannot expect any scheme to be successful. So if they want this scheme to be successful, you have to explore the intervention participation of the locals, and that is being done with the help of these particular, you can say, parts of the society: tribal leaders, tribal healers, panchayati raj, self help group and youth. सबको साथ में मिलके गवर्नमेंट काम करेगी. That's the basic idea. Okay, so we'll move to the next part now. Vishnugar project likely to face inquiry. Okay, so this Vishnugar hydropower project, it is being said that it has led to चेंज इन द इकोलॉजी, तो यहाँ पे इकोलॉजी कहीं ना कहीं बदलती हुई नजर आ रही है, एंड दैट दे से दैट प्रॉपर एनवायरमेंट इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट need to be carried out, that what impact this project is going to have on the ecology of the mountain. Okay, so we have seen such big hydropower projects, they can have negative impact on the overall ecology of the area because it is going to disturb the equilibrium. तो आपका जो इक्विलिब्रियम है उस एरिया का वो डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है, ठीक है ना. सो योर माउंटेन स्लोप्स दे बिकम डिस्टेबलाइज एंड देन व्हेन देयर आर रेन्स इट मे डेवलप इनटू यू कैन से लैंडस्लाइड्स एंड ऑल. तो ऐसी चीजें हो रही हैं यहाँ पे. ओके, दैट्स द पॉइंट हियर. एंड दिस ईयर एज वेल, लाइक इट वाज ड्यू टू द हैवी रेन्स, लॉट ऑफ एरियाज दे अंडरवेंट लैंडस्लाइड्स. बहुत जगहों पे लैंडस्लाइड्स हुई हैं अब की बार हिमाचल उत्तराखंड में. ओके, दैट्स द मेजर एंगल हियर. So other than that, there is nothing much. So we'll move to the next part now. Now China pledges support to Sri Lanka at United Nations HRC session. Okay, so this is what is going on right now. It's a basically it's a support that China is giving. Okay, लेकिन इसका कुछ खास मतलब नहीं है because Sri Lanka is under tremendous stress right now. So China, Russia threatening the world order. This is what Taiwan president is saying. They are saying that they are challenging the world order. They are challenging the legal arrangement that is there. Global legal arrangement जो भी है उसको challenge किया जा रहा है. Okay. So it is their point of view. We know that China is creating troubles for you can say Taiwan. Okay. तो ये सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं. And other than that, we have this news. India keen to know more on Russian oil price cap plan. So we want transparency in the Russian plan. Already the idea was that Russia will be giving like oil at 30% discount. Okay, so at present the international oil price is near $100. So if we say 30% discount, it means that we might be getting it for $70 or so. Okay, but we need to have a transparent system because with transparency only you can carry out your you can say business. Okay, तो अगर लैक ऑफ ट्रांसपेरेंसी है तो कोई बिजनेस पॉसिबल नहीं है. दैट्स द मेजर एंगल हियर. नाउ रूपी टू स्टे अंडर प्रेशर डिस्पाइट द आरबीआई सपोर्ट. This is what is going to be. And see the point is this, the fall in rupee price is gradual fall. Okay, तो ये एकदम से फॉल नहीं हुआ है, ये ग्रेजुअल फॉल हुआ है. दैट्स वाई इट इज इजी टू सस्टेन. तो कोई इतनी बड़ी दिक्कत नहीं है हमारे यहाँ पे, ठीक है ना. सो फ्लक्चुएशन नहीं हो रहा है यहाँ पे. ओके, फॉल इज देयर बट इट इज नॉट फ्लक्चुएटिंग दैट मच. So if you remember the 2013 time, the fluctuations were tremendous. बहुत जबरदस्त यहाँ पे फ्लक्चुएशन होता था उस टाइम में. तो आज की डेट में उस टाइप की कोई चीज नहीं है. ओके, दैट्स द मेजर पॉइंट. अदर देन दैट देयर इज नथिंग मच. कुछ खास नहीं है. नाउ डिजिटल लैंडिंग रूल्स सेट टू स्पार्क डिसरप्शन. सो इन इंडिया लाइक दिस इज डिजिटल लैंडिंग इज अ न्यू मार्केट, न्यू एवेन्यू. तो ये एक नई मार्केट, नया एवेन्यू आ रहा है. राइट नाउ इट इज सेड दैट लास्ट ईयर $2.2 billion इट वाज गिवन एज लाइक लोन्स एंड ऑल, डिजिटल लोन वगैरह सब दिया है. बट आरबीआई रूल्स आर गोइंग टू बी देयर एंड लाइक हेयर द इंडस्ट्री पीपल आर सेइंग दैट इट इज बिट प्रॉब्लमेटिक कि ये बिजनेस को कहीं ना कहीं डिसरप्ट ना कर दे अगर नए आरबीआई रूल जो आ रहे हैं. So this is what this whole idea is about. Okay, so this is what we have in today's session. Now let me deal with your problems. Okay, so after the lecture please put light on the Rohingya crisis, that why Assam is majorly faced it, not the other northeastern states. So Lovepreet, I am saying this thing to you, it is not the Assam precisely, all other states also you can say face the same issue. ठीक है ना. असम अलग से नहीं था यहाँ पे. असम हैज दिस क्राइसिस ऑफ माइग्रेशन ऑफ पीपल फ्रॉम बांग्लादेश. ओके, असम के अंदर बांग्लादेश से लोग आ रहे हैं, ये प्रॉब्लम है असम की. ठीक है ना. प्रिसाइजली रोहिंग्याज की प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इतनी. रोहिंग्याज दैट वर इन न्यूज, दे वर लोकेटेड नियर दिल्ली. वो तो दिल्ली के आसपास की लोकेशन पे थे, ठीक है ना, जहां से ये न्यूज बनी थी. So the point is this, when this Rohingya crisis like it erupted, तो इंडिया के लिए प्रॉब्लम थी कि what should be done now. Now we don't have a dedicated policy. Okay, हमारे पास dedicated policy नहीं है to deal with refugees. रेफ्यूजीज को डील करने के लिए कोई सरकारी पॉलिसी नहीं है, ओनली नेहरूवियन गाइडलाइंस आर देयर, वो भी ऐसे ही इनफॉर्मल है. नाउ द पॉइंट इज दिस, your intelligence agency, security agencies, they were saying that Rohingyas are radicalized, okay, बहुत गुस्सा है, and they are being used, they might be used by Pakistan based ISI, because कुछ reports आई थी कि these Rohingya leaders they are meeting with ISI people in Bangkok, कि थाईलैंड के अंदर इनकी मीटिंग हुई है, एंड देर आर चांसेस दैट दिस माइट बी यूज्ड अगेंस्ट इंडियन इंटरेस्ट. That was the major point. Okay, that was the major point here. Other than that, we helped Bangladesh. Now, India ने ऐसा नहीं किया कि we will not have Rohingyas. We provided aid to Bangladesh so that Bangladesh can carry out their rehabilitation. This is what we provided. ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि हमने कोई भी मदद नहीं की है. We have provided some assistance to them. Bangladesh has placed all the Rohingyas on one island. एक island पे सारे Rohingyas को रख दिया है, and we provided aid, money, other sort of assistance so that they can sustain, they can live there. थोड़ा बहुत वहां पे वो जी सकें, ऐसा हमने अरेंजमेंट करके दिया है इनको. ठीक है जी, that was the point here. Okay. Later on what happened, there was a military coup in Myanmar. अब म्यांमार में मिलिट्री coup हो जाता है, and political people they started migrating to India. वहां से फिर पॉलिटिकल लोग, परसिक्यूशन का डर उनको हुआ कि आर्मी मारेगी, they started coming to India. That was a problem here. Okay, so in this way this complexity is still existing. The complexity of Myanmar and Rohingyas, it is still existing, and we have to deal with this. Now the question in front of us is this: what can we do? What can we do? Okay, we are not a signatory. India is not a signatory of UN Convention for Refugees. Okay, हमने refugees से related कोई convention sign नहीं किया है, because if we sign that convention then repatriation is not possible. Repatriation means you cannot ask them to leave. एक बार जब मरने मारने का डर खत्म हो गया, थ्रेट खत्म हो गया, after that it is right that we should ask them to leave, to go back to their country. But if you are signing any convention, you cannot do that. So India is not a signatory of UN Convention for Refugees, and it is in policy that we can ask them to repatriate, to move out of India, to go back to their country, and this is what your government is now trying to do. ये आपकी सरकार आज ये कर रही है. Solution to this is we need to have a dedicated refugee policy. आपको एक refugee policy की जरूरत है. Okay, refugee policy बनाएंगे तब जाके चीजें ठीक होंगी. नेशनल लेवल पे कोई पॉलिसी होनी चाहिए, क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए दैट इन फ्यूचर व्हाट शुड बी डन, किसको क्या काम करना है उस चीज को लेके क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए. अदरवाइज देयर विल बी लॉट ऑफ कंफ्यूजन. स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स भी कंफ्यूज्ड हैं. व्हाई स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स आर कंफ्यूज्ड? बिकॉज दीज रेफ्यूजीज दे आर एंटरिंग द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. अब स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हैज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू प्रोवाइड देम विद हेल्थ एंड एजुकेशन. अब वो कहते हैं कि हम एडिशनल बर्डन क्यों लें, एडिशनल बर्डन क्यों लें? It is a matter of international relations. International relations falls under the, you can say, union list. भाई ये मामला तो इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन का है, स्टेट को बर्डन क्यों ले, है ना? इफ पीपल आर एंटरिंग फ्रॉम म्यांमार टू इंडिया, तो ये आईआर का मामला है ना, इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस का. बट स्टेट को सारा बर्डन लेना पड़ता है बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव अ डेडिकेटेड पॉलिसी. स्टेट को पता ही नहीं है कि क्या करना है इसके अंदर. जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर होगा बॉर्डर एरिया के अंदर, उसको उसके पास कोई गाइडलाइन ही नहीं है कि क्या करे. ओके, दैट्स द मेजर पॉइंट हियर. So that's why these things are, you can say, bit tricky and complex. So Rohit Bhardwaj is asking, sir, what is the common problem of maritime industry? Maritime industry, पहले तो आप क्लियर करो कि क्या है common problem. आपने अजीब सा सवाल पूछा है. मैं कह रहा हूँ आप पहले क्लियर करो maritime industry बोल किसे रहे हो. There are whole lot of problems. कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, क्रेडिट नहीं है आपके पास, ओके, पोल्यूशन हो रहा है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. So there can't be only one single problem. तो my question is this, please बी प्रिसाइज विद द टर्म. मैरीटाइम इंडस्ट्री क्या होती है उसको लेके थोड़ा क्लियर हो जाओ आप. ठीक है, दैट्स द पॉइंट हियर, दैट्स द पॉइंट हियर. एंड बबली शर्मा इज आस्किंग सर बीसीए स्टूडेंट्स मैथ ले सकते हैं क्या यूपीएससी ऑप्शनल में? बिल्कुल ले सकते हैं, कोई कोई मनाही नहीं है, आप इसको ले सकते हैं। अब ये एक साहिल कुमार करके आया था, जरा सुनिए आप। साहिल कुमार इज सेइंग बी रेगुलर सर। अब ये साहिल कुमार मोस्ट प्रोबेबली कोई प्लांटेड स्टूडेंट है, ये असली में स्टूडेंट है ही नहीं, ठीक है ना। ये किसी कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट का बिठाया हुआ प्लांटेड स्टूडेंट है, और फर्जी अकाउंट बना के बैठा होगा, क्योंकि इन्होंने मेरे सेशन तो लगाए नहीं होंगे। सो दोज हु आर रेगुलर दे ऑलरेडी नो इट, ओके, दोज हु आर रेगुलर दे ऑलरेडी नो इट कि हम रोज यहाँ पे एक तरीके से सेशन कर रहे हैं। दैट्स द पॉइंट हेयर, ठीक है ना, दैट्स द पॉइंट हेयर। सो जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट, just give me a minute, okay, there is some battery related issue in my laptop, okay, so lag will not be there, lag will not be there. So Mr. Srinath Reddy is asking sir definition of tribe. So tribe, you can say they are people who are living with primitive lifestyle, okay, they are people who are living with primitive lifestyle. They are termed as tribals. They use the primitive method of agriculture, okay, modern profession is not there, पुराने तरीके से वो जीते हैं, ठीक है जी, पुराने तरीके से वो जीते हैं, ओके। दिस इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ ट्राइब वी हैव। मिस्टर श्रीनाथ रेड्डी, इज इट क्लियर? चलिए, so I have addressed your doubts. I guess I have addressed your doubts. Suranjay Singh is saying, sir, ignore that guy. Suranjay, like, we should not ignore these people. It is important to, you can say, expose them. If we can't ignore, you can say, in our life, you have to expose these individuals. We are doing hard work here. We are working every day in the morning to produce this session for you, ठीक है ना। तो हम रोज ये काम कर रहे हैं, बट दीज इंडिविजुअल्स कुछ नहीं करते, सारा दिन बैठ के बातें ही करते होंगे ये, ठीक है, लाइफ में कुछ इनका गोल नहीं होगा, कुछ कर भी नहीं पाएंगे, कुछ कर भी नहीं पाएंगे, इस तरीके के लोग होते हैं ये। चलिए, never mind, so this is part of the game, we are in a competitive industry, so competition is going to be there. So it was pleasure teaching you all, like it was a great session, thank you very much. So Sumit Koshal is asking what is Pegasus spyware. Now Pegasus spyware, it was a Israeli, okay, it was a Israeli spyware. Spyware means नजर रखने के लिए, okay, नजर रखने के लिए, ठीक है ना, नजर रखने के लिए स्पाइंग की जाती है, okay. So Israeli intelligence agency and the other agencies, they produce this particular Pegasus, you can say spyware, and they provide this spyware only in government to government deal. तो ये किसी प्राइवेट कंपनी को देते ही नहीं है। तो इट मीन्स दैट इफ द पेगासस इज बीइंग यूज्ड इन इंडिया, देन इट इज ओनली पॉसिबल इफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज बाइंग इट। तो ये एक सॉफ्टवेयर है जिसको पता लग जाएगा कि आपके मोबाइल में आप किससे बात कर रहे हो, कैसे बात कर रहे हो। दैट्स द पॉइंट। इज इट क्लियर? इज इट क्लियर? इट विल हैक योर फोन, बेसिकली इट विल हैक योर फोन, ओके। इट विल हैक योर फोन, आपका हैक फोन को हैक कर लेगा। दैट्स द बेसिक लॉजिक। दे विल कम टू नो हु इज सेंडिंग यू मैसेज एंड ऑल। इज इट क्लियर मिस्टर सुमित कौशल? चलिए, सो दैट्स इट फॉर द डे देन।